Hi folks, here we are again, another week and another vacation, so to speak, except there is no vacation. Instead, I'm going to be recording the lab that we would have normally had and posting that video for you to watch as a series. What we're going to do in this particular screencast is to focus on the mechanics of what's required for making your slideshows have kind of an album viewing potential. Let me show you what I mean. What we're going to be doing is essentially we're going to start out with this particular example, which works pretty well. Here we have three links across the top, and we have three corresponding divs with an H1 and a paragraph. If I click, you can see it changes out the information. Now, this div has an H3 or an H2 and a paragraph, but there's nothing saying that the div couldn't contain a heading and, let's say, several thumbnail images that you could use to click to display a larger picture. That makeup of this div could be whatever you want. But for our purposes, for our image gallery, it seems to make sense to have links or thumbnail images there. So let's check that out. The final version looks something like this. And we've taken a sneak peek of this, and I've given you a link to it. You can see it works pretty straight ahead, right? So we have the status indication, but when I click on frogs, it shows me the first frog. And then, right? So it's the same idea, except here, instead of seeing a heading and a paragraph, you're seeing a series of links that are then used to modify this picture down below. Okay, let's go back. And start from scratch. Now, one thing that's interesting, and I haven't really shown you this, but JSfiddle has some functionality built into it, which is kind of cool. There's this tool that I used to talk about. You've probably seen the link in the doc share or the webliography called Zen Coding. That has evolved into something called Emmet. And what Emmet is a plugin that you can use for your text editor to help you write code a lot faster. Well, I'm just going to show you just this demo real quickly. So you can see that's a series of basically CSS declarations that then expand into the literal HTML. Very cool. Let's go and check that out. Now, normally you can come here and download it, and it should install. They have different plugins for Dreamweaver as well as your favorite editor. Okay, so let's check that out. Now, there's a cheat sheet down here. Let's see, where is it? We'll keep that handy. And the cheat sheet has, in the documentation, you might want to look at that. Like all things, it takes a little bit of time to get up to speed with it, but once you do, you'll find it will save you a lot of time. So this cheat sheet shows you the syntax of how you would write. So this, you can see this example of the child selector, nav, ul, li, will turn into this. Okay, so a nav with a child selector, ul, is a child of nav, and the li is a child of ul. Okay, pretty cool. Using sibling selectors, div plus p plus bq, block quote. So div, and then it's sibling, and then it's other sibling. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's try that. I'm gonna go back to JSfiddle, and in here it's built in. We don't have to turn anything on over here. It's just part of how JSfiddle works. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. But let's try an example here. What I want is a navigation, and my navigation is going to have a set of links, and those are the links that I'm going to click on for my album. So let's start. I'm going to have a nav tag, and my nav tag is going to have an ID of main, and then it's going to have a child. That nav is going to have inside the nav is going to be anchor tags as children, so A, and then those anchor tags are going to have attributes. So the attribute is they're going to have href attributes, and the href is going to be equal to the actual text album. But then I want like album 1, album 2, album 3. So $ represents a number, and then from there I'm going to have the text inside the anchor tag be the word album and $ again. So this curly bracket represents the text that's going to be the text inside the open and close tags of the anchor tag. Okay, and we're not done yet. And I want 5. Let's do 5 and see what happens. 5 of those. So I'm going to have one nav named main, and inside it there's going to be 5 anchor tags, and watch what happens when I press Command E. Boom. Okay, so now there's my nav with an ID of main, my 5 anchor tags. The hrefs are album 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the text inside there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not bad. Okay, I only really need 3, so I'm just going to delete the last 2. Let's try that again. What we need now is we need to have a series of divs that are going to contain our content. So let's try this again. Say div, and that div is going to have an ID of albums, plural, and that div is going to have children, and the children in that div is going to be divs themselves, and each one of those divs is going to have an ID of album $. Whoops, $. And that's going to be because the ID is going to be like album 1, album 2, album 3. Okay, and I want 5 of those, so asterisk 5 times 5, right? And each one of those is going to contain, each one of those divs is going to contain a child, and it's going to be an H3 tag. And the text inside the H3 tag, text inside the H3 tag is going to be album, and then the number again, album number, right? And the H3 is going to have a sibling, and the sibling is going to be a paragraph, and that sibling is going to contain some text, and I'm just going to say lipsum, right? It's going to just throw some lorem ipsum in there, and let's try that. Command E, blam. So if you look what it did. It created a parent div called albums, and inside that is a div called album 1. The heading is album 1, a paragraph with lorem ipsum in it, and then the closing div. And then the second div, and then the third div. I did 5, didn't I? I really don't need all 5, so I'm going to get rid of these 2, and I'm back. Okay, let's run this and see what we have. Okay, so if you look, you can see I have 5 or 3 divs and the 3 anchor tags on top. Now, ideally, I forgot I should have put the anchor like this to make these in-page links. What does an in-page anchor do? Well, watch. If I bring this down like this, right, and I click on album 3, whoops, it's showing me, it's giving me a post error. Let's run that again. Let's see, href pound album 1. That should be fine. Okay, so something happened earlier. Let's see. I'm going to move this down because what I want it to do is when I click that, see how it navigates up to 3? I have to scroll up. But see, these are in-page anchors, so if I click, it scrolls the page to that location. So without JavaScript on, right? I have no JavaScript. This is kind of doing what it needs to do, right? Okay, pretty neat. So a little bit of practice. The cool thing about Emmet is it also works with CSS. You can write some fancy shortcuts and you can build out your CSS very quickly and easily. Let's call that screencast right here, and then we'll come back and we'll start adding some JavaScript to this now that we have our structure that we'll use.